Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know where you are, but we hope
Good day,
you
good
are
day.
blessed. Yes.
Good day.
Because today with these social networks, we can cross border easily. And today at this time, it could be morning time in Colombia, but it could be evening or midnight in another part of the world. We are really happy to be here again with Sami and Uzi. How are you?
Hi, Semi, and hi, Olgita. How are you? Good,
Great.
I'm great.
I'm doing good, thanks God, and very happy to be once more with you and with all our listeners.
Yes, indeed. We have to acknowledge that God has been so good. During time of crisis, we started with this pandemic. When was it? 2020?
2020 in Colombia?
Yeah, here in Colombia,
Once.
we got locked down. I think it was in March.
I
March.
think it was like 15 days after I got married.
Yes. So honeymoon during the
That's
pandemic.
right. You came from honeymoon and then you got
I'm
locked
about
down.
to be 2 years married now with my wife, and so that's why I remember.
Yes,
Clearly.
very easily. Yeah. Well, the fact that we have been in pandemic doesn't necessarily mean that everything has been bad. Although, of course, very hard times have come to many families, to many people. But
Entrepreneurs, business companies.
That's true. But we have learned, or we have had to learn how to survive during these times of crisis. And one of those areas that has been more and more difficult is financial crisis, right? For
Correct.
many people, it has been really hard. And today we want to discuss how easily, how difficult, how well we can live during times of financial crisis. Just to begin, I would like to speak about that. What does it mean to live well in times of crisis? Because for some people, to live well could be about many high standards, right, of living.
Probably
Luxuries.
having the fridge full of food,
Yeah, that could be for a person to live well.
or having a lot of money in your pocket and having a lot of money in your bank account, or it could be different.
I heard that to live well, the other day I heard Brother Reynaldo's talking about this. He was saying that it is to have your needs covered without struggling too much. Like, you have to eat tonight and you are not like the whole day, I need the money for the food tonight.
Yeah.
At least to have like your basics covered.
Yeah, I think it would be one of the thoughts that would be most common in society, I guess, because if I just thought about a missionary, I just thought about people who live by faith.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't fit, because sometimes they have to just believe, and that is good for them, and that is to be relaxed and confident that you are going to have everything. However, most common thing is to be, or to supply your needs, your basic needs, easily.
Well, that can bring another important question. What are those basic needs for a person? Because for some people could be many, and for others just a couple. So what do you think should be those basic needs for us?
Food.
Yes, I would say food, but also in that we could say many things, because for example, there's people, and here in Colombia, I don't know in other places, but here in Colombia there are many families that you can see, they say, if I don't have a piece of beef or meat in my lunch, I didn't have lunch.
That's true.
That's
true.
So that's a problem, because there is people that they might have for their food today, but not the style they are thinking about,
And they feel pretty bad if they don't have it, or if they can't buy this brand, of rice or oil. They feel bad.
So many times when we are going through a crisis, we will have to change many of our habits. For example, if you are accustomed to eat mushrooms from, I don't know, from another country,
the jungle,
maybe
virgin jungle of Tanzania,
shrimps, or you don't drink normal milk but almond drinks, those things are expensive. So maybe in the midst of a crisis, we are not saying that you will have to be starving and not eating.
Yeah, exactly.
But maybe you'll have to change, and that's the problem. Human beings, we don't like to change what we are accustomed to
and what we like.
And people will say, what a disgrace, I'm not able to, not even able to eat. But it's not true. You cannot eat according to what you were accustomed. So I remember my dad once told us, when they were trying to build their house in Cali, the way they provided for the building was to stop eating certain things during the week. For example, we used to eat meat 5 times or 4 times a week, so now we're gonna eat twice. We were accustomed to buy new clothes each
underwear
month, for instance.
Now we will not buy during these months, and in that way they built their house. So many times is to change, you know.
Talking about this very controversial topic, which is finances and how to deal with the crisis, how to deal with a problem concerning money. Many times it is harder to go down from your style than to go up to a style.
Oh, of course.
And that's basically the problem. Many times we come from having nothing and starting having and grow. Exactly. So now I can buy this type of food, now I can buy this brand of clothes, and now I have a car, and so on. And when the pandemic hit, many people lost their job, or the company closed, or many people went bankrupt.
Or their savings
and they spent all the exactly. And how could we manage this situation? Sammy just mentioned one option.
Yeah. Well, the first thing I would like to say is that we need to overcome our mental barriers, right? Because for some people, and Pastor Samuel, our pastor, has mentioned that in one of his messages. For instance, a family or a person, the only thing they can have is black coffee with a toast, right? And probably that person was accustomed to eat more things, and eggs and beef and
bacon,
so on and so on.
Cheese.
Right.
American brethren are listening to us.
But all of a sudden they couldn't continue with the lifestyle, and they feel very, very bad because they cannot eat in as they were accustomed to.
They can't afford it now.
Yeah, but then you see another person that has money, has the financial resources, and probably that person is overweight, and that person desires to eat only black coffee and one toast, and they cannot. And that's why they feel also bad, not because they don't have as much as they would like, but
So
they have too much, and they have overweight, and they can't lose that.
you could find then both of them eating the same menu.
Yes.
The rich one and the one with a financial crisis drinking just a cup of coffee and maybe a toast, and one is complaining. And the other one is saying, I have to achieve it.
And the same applies with clothes, with shoes, with a car, right? People that are suffering crime because they cannot have the new brand car they would like to. And another person that probably has a bicycle, right? Or something. Even they don't have a vehicle, and they would like to have the one.
Yeah,
that
I would like
has.
to advise, or I would like to say something that is causing us to long for things that we don't have, or that we would like to have, is the society that is totally we are a consumist society.
Yeah.
And whatever we see others do, then we want to. So Sammy posted a picture, I don't know, in the beach, and he is having fun, and he's eating some seafood, and so I saw that and say, I want that, but I can't afford. So what am I going to do? Am I going to borrow some money and then go?
Or the credit card.
Or the credit card and then get the debt, 10 years debt. That is not rational. Many times we get involved in this type of, let's call it lusts, like vices, because we are thirsty of having what others have.
That's what the Bible calls the desires of the flesh.
and not necessarily sex and drugs, but having the share that he has is that blue is so beautiful, I want it.
Right.
But you have this type of blue, so be happy with what you have. And I think that was the other thing that you mentioned the other day with Reynaldo. We have to be happy with what we have, and it does not mean that we're not ambitious, that we're not that we don't want to
grow.
Exactly, we don't want to grow.
It's a matter of adapting to your needs.
The mindset.
I want to tell you what happened, I think 2 days ago. You know, here in Colombia nowadays, they say that meat and, you know, all those
the products
are getting more expensive. Yeah. And I was always telling my wife, when we eat chicken, I feel it's too much for us because we are just two. But many times it's kind of hard for you to get like the amounts, because they say, I give you this or I give you this one. So I always told her, I think it's like for 3 people, not for 2.
Okay.
So I think
chicken. So you buy the chicken, like one chicken or the parts of the chicken? No,
I'm talking about parts. So you buy like the parts,
but and the breast.
Yes, I think it was breast. And I told her, let's do the same menu that we used to prepare with half of what we used to prepare, and let's see how it tastes. And we did it, and it was the same. Because
it was the same.
I told her, nobody eats like with a lot of breast chicken in it, like it's too much. So the same piece, I think it's for 2 lunches.
Not
the same amount.
For the same amount. So maybe you think it's something simple,
right?
But if you talk about buying those things, it will make the difference.
Yeah, of course. You will.
And I'm not saying that we didn't eat or that we just tasted a little bit. No, I'm talking about something so simple like knowing we are just 2 people. We cannot eat like if we are 3 or 4.
You know, sometimes that is the first thing we cut down. We cut down with food. When it comes to, you know, financial crisis, we say we're not going to eat. We're not going to go out, and that's good. However, the first thing that we have to cut down is not buying unnecessary, unnecessary things. Like, if you have a microphone, why are you buying another microphone? And so on. That would be the first thing. That you don't
need.
Exactly.
Many times you don't need it.
Most of the times.
Yes.
Because unless it is extremely necessary. For instance, your shoes they have a hole in the sole. Invest in the shoes.
You can give a try looking at the items you have at home and seeing what you can sell.
Exactly.
Last year, with my wife, we said, okay, let's write a list of things we can sell.
Yeah, because things that are dusty.
And we sold many things, you know, like a piano that we were not
guitar,
using.
A guitar, acoustic guitar, I guess.
I think I sold something else. And it's interesting how many things, even I think I sold some things to you last week that I had in my house and I was not using it. Yeah. So it's something that we can also
don't just run and to say we're not having any meat, any chicken, any protein. No. Be balanced. You know, everything comes to what's your salary, what's your income, and if you have this type of income or this amount of money, then try to live with it during the month, so you have everything, you know, in place. because unexpected things could happen as well. For instance, if you have a
Yes.
car and you got a hole and something broke and you don't have the money to
Right.
fix it.
Right.
It happened to me this month. I was checking my license and then I suddenly
It was expired.
it expired and I like for a week it was expired and I didn't know.
Oh,
So I had to go fast and
Immediately.
and then I had to pay for the insurance. So
Yeah.
two things the very same day.
Yeah.
So that probably was not in your account or in your month. That's something else that we have to take into account. What are your expenses or things that
Yeah.
could occur?
To set a budget, right? We need to find out to have the account carefully of everything that is coming in
Yeah.
and coming out,
Absolutely.
right? And if you realize that your expenses are higher than your income, definitely you need to do arrangements.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tweak
to
some
stop
things.
spending in some
And
things.
also something that I have been learning because I have not been so much into investments.
Uh-huh.
These last 2 months with my wife, we have been buying little things that we are going to sell. But something that we would want to recommend to people is that when you invest, it is money that, of course, it will return to you even with some gain.
Uh-huh.
But how long will it take to return?
Yeah.
So many times we invest everything we have and we say, okay, I have a little bit of money to eat and to pay all my expenses during this month, and the rest is going to investment.
Uh-huh.
The problem is if you don't know how long you have to wait for that investment to return to you. If it's 2 months, you need to have that into, not just think, okay, if I buy this and I sell it, I will gain.
Yeah, how
twice.
much time it
The
would
when
take.
it's important.
When, because if you need that money next month, then stop.
Yeah, don't do it.
Yeah. Be careful with the items you purchase to be sold later on.
Yeah, okay, so use a budget, right? Make sure that you are not spending much than what you are earning, right? Also, what you were mentioning about meals, right? About food is better in times of crisis to prepare meals at home, to cook at home. Because when you buy in a restaurant, it will be
More
pretty,
expensive.
yes,
And to have
pretty
written
expensive.
to have written menus.
Yeah, I found that there is an app
That's
that
funny.
you can list all the ingredients you have at home, and the app will suggest what you can
What?
prepare with those ingredients. Yes.
Later on, you have to give it
That's
that.
awesome. Yeah, here we don't receive money for advertisements, so that's why.
But yeah. Later on, you will give it the name because that's very interesting. I didn't.
Yeah, because
No.
sometimes we suffer when we are at home. We say, I don't know what to cook.
That question is more common than I thought.
Yeah, and
Many
that's
people
why.
say,
Yeah.
"Okay, honey, what do you want for dinner?" Whatever.
Whatever.
You want. No, don't say whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes
don't
we
say
lack
whatever.
creativity,
Yeah.
but there are, this kind of tools that will help us.
And when we say, "Oh yes, I want to be creative and make some delicious food," and you start YouTube.
I need
Cheese of
yes, so
this type
many
of ingredients. I don't have that. If I bought that, then I would be a banker. No, we have to be, and that is why this app is very nice. Because
Yeah, it is.
What
you
have.
tell them what
Yes,
you have.
with the things that you have
That's
at
awesome.
home. Okay, concerning credit cards, Sammy mentioned about it. Yeah, stop using them. If you can pay for all your debts as soon as possible,
Also,
it will be
learn
awesome.
how to manage them in the best way.
Yeah.
For example, if you are paying your bills with of your credit card every 15th of your month, then you cannot buy something the 14th
Right.
because you will not have a month to pay it, but just one day to pay it. So we need to use that intelligence. Even if you know how to use your credit cards, you can make your score go up instead of going down.
I don't know how different things are in other countries concerning the credit cards, but having the power to buy things and then to pay those things like
when
double the price or something.
If you have months and months, you will have to pay interest and
so you need to check the rate. You need to check the maintenance fee.
Yes.
Sometimes it is monthly, sometimes it is yearly.
They say that.
But depending on the banks, it will be higher. So you need to check that. Sometimes we just want the credit card, no matter the rate, no matter the monthly fee, and we spend really more.
For our American brethren, we want to let you know that here in Colombia, we can say how many payments we want to do for a product. Because not in every country they can do that.
So like, in the States they can.
I have heard like you pay something with your credit card and it's 12 payments.
Yes or yes.
Wow.
At least 12.
So you will take a year to pay for that.
Ouch. No.
No. Here we can do it next month.
Anyways, there was
payment.
something else that I was going to say because time is almost running over. It's don't try, if you have debts, don't try to pay debts with debts.
Yeah.
I mean, borrow money for paying a debt is a kind of digging a hole to cover the other hole. So that's financially insane. Like, don't do it. It's not going to work. It's not going to help you. It's going to, take you to a deeper state. So don't try to borrow money and then pay your debts.
Yes, and cancel subscriptions or cable,
Unnecessary.
TV cable. Yes, that probably you don't need. Indeed, you don't need that.
This morning, I saw this advertisement. It was like 8 type of platforms. Yeah, and I said, all those platforms, you can pay for them monthly.
Wow.
I said, no way. I don't have that time. Either the money to pay for that and then don't watch it. No way.
And above all, ask God to give you wisdom how to manage what you have, because the wisdom is given by God. And even when we are bad at managing money or other things, He can teach us. And if you read the Bible, you will learn from different people of God, different examples about how to manage what you have wisely.
Yes. So
Sammy?
Pray to the Lord for the wisdom and also go and search what you can read. Read concerning the credit card you have in your pocket. Go and see.
That is to educate us ourselves financially. That's important. Read and ask people who know more, or entrepreneurs, businessmen, or friends
or
of
even
yours.
the person that is next to you, and you know that person lives quietly, making good use of what they have.
How do you do?
How do you do it?
So our counsel is look for God's guidance spiritually, but also look for it. One thing have I asked or desire from the Lord, but this shall I seek after. So God will help you out if you also
do it.
And it is possible. It is possible to survive, to live well in times of crisis. This was Sharing Gladness, and we hope to be again with you in the next opportunity. God bless you.